coaches in the game, we really ain't playing. We regroup up in the Slack chat where the coaches debrief. We be piecing these puzzles, occupy the chunk of the pie. Ain't no lie when we hit the block, helmet's casket is top. You be seeing helmet after helmet, helmet after helmet. First place, second place, fifth place, eighth place, 12th place, 15, 16, 20. So many helmets, you got blurred vision, we got too many. Tick your tech. Oh man, shit. They got us fucked up. Army, regroup. We pledge always to have that edge. We don't fire warning shots. Competition just dropped. We locked and loaded before lock. Whatever the time, yeah. Do you even correlate?
Being the best requires a willingness to outwork your competition. There's always someone smarter, faster, sharper, more naturally gifted to come around.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Wednesday edition of the NHL Breakdown live stream. Today, I have my trusty old DK cash specialist, Cam, with me today. He's low-owned wide receiver in Slack chat and on Twitter. Hit him up if you have any questions. He's a cash game guru on DraftKings. Been crushing it lately. So, Cam, how we doing today?
Dude, it's so awesome that you do that intro. Because if you didn't do it, I would sit here for 10 seconds and be like, "Oh, you want me to do it?" My bad. So thanks for doing the intro all the time, man. I appreciate it.
I got you, man. I got you. What are your first quick little thoughts on the slate tonight?
Oh, it feels nice to have a small gamer one. I used to not be a fan of them, and then I kind of learned we all have fewer options. I'm not the only one with fewer options, so I've come to love it more recently, and they're definitely a lot more. I feel relaxed because we don't have to make 15 different decisions today. We might have to make 8, and that's a lot easier, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, 5 games is definitely I love the 5 to 7 game kind of spread. Personally,
yeah, if you're playing GPPs and you really care about your ROI, I would go a lot lighter on the bigger ones, and then on the 5 ones, I'd be all right, I want to play the amount of money I normally want to play.
Yeah, especially when the bigger slates is so spread out with ownership and with scoring, and especially if you get games that start at 7 and you get games that start at 10, everyone is oh, I'm winning so much money. It's there's only been 3 games starting, and whoever's at the top is going to stack. So there's always people who game stack the first couple games, and they're yeah, first place, and then the night's over, and they probably barely cash or don't cash at all. But I just want to welcome everyone to the show. We're going to break down this nice little 5-game slate for you. If you're not a DFS Army VIP member, sign up, use the promo code Mdell. Get yourself 10% off your membership, and that 10% off is good for as long as you have an active subscription. Your price is going to be locked in. Even if our prices end up going up, you'll still pay that same price when you sign up with that code until you cancel. And we have all great sports. We have different VIP memberships. You can do month, week. You can do a yearly subscription. You can do the core 4 sports. You can do the full VIP with everything. And that gives you all the esports. It gives you every sport that we cover. Definitely that's the best one to get. So use that promo code to save yourself some money every month and join into our Slack. Our Slack is probably one of the best things about the DFS Army. Obviously, our tools are great, but we have so much interaction with our members, and we're helping people out with new sports and getting people to learn and start taking down tournaments. So definitely hop on in there and use that promo code to save yourself a few bucks. But yeah, a nice short little slate tonight. The kind of thing that's crazy is that last game is at 11 o'clock. I don't think many people are going to stay up to the end of it. It's kind of weird. I don't know why they're starting that game at 11 when it's in Vancouver, but
yeah, I didn't really read into that too much. I didn't know I figured there's a specific reason they were doing that. I just it's gonna start at 11. I didn't care enough to check into it any more than that.
Yeah, I was looking at Fanduel when I was doing my notes earlier, and I'm is this right? Is this game really at 11?
I mean, is it at 8 though? Where it's played at? Is it in Vancouver? Is that 8 o'clock?
I have no idea. Is Vancouver on the west?
I bet it is. I bet it's
yeah, I mean, which isn't it's not bad for them. But let's see. Oh yeah, they're on Pacific Standard, so yeah, it's 11 or it's 8.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, hockey's not huge yet, so I mean, like, you might as well appeal to your home market more.
Yeah, that's true. All right,
But
what do you
dude,
say?
you gotta start at 4 o'clock. No, hold on. I just want to get this. Oh, you live on the West Coast. How do you play DFS if it starts at 4? Like, that seems impossible. Like, I mean, like, I know you could do it at work, but like, that has to be such a disadvantage for so many people. Like,
Oh, I know.
you should
How about the MLB
them.
slates? Right? Be like, you need to start these games later. I got money to win. But you also have
All right,
like,
yeah, we'll get into it. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No one cares about this. I'll be real. I'm just that sucks. That's
it's
my
wild
point.
though.
It sucks. Like, that would suck so bad to have to like get your stuff in at 4. Like, I'd have a panic attack.
Yeah, and I mean like NFL on Sundays. I would love to live on the West Coast. You wake up at 10 o'clock and you got games all day.
They do.
Baseball.
I will give them that. They do have that one on us, and that's pretty. Maybe it does balance out because that's huge. Like, man, that those 2-3 hours, 4 hours you're up that you gotta wait, all that tinkering you do that you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm. At least like West Coast, you just set your lineup the night before, and especially in NFL, you can just do it on Sunday night and make some adjustments. But all right, since we started this a little bit later, and there is only 5 games, we'll get right into it. First game on the slate: Vegas Golden Knights at the Minnesota Wild. I think all these games are rematches from Monday night, so not too much has really changed. First look at this slate, I wasn't really a huge fan of it, but as we started talking before, I kind of started to like it a lot more. So with this Vegas and Minnesota game, same 2 goalies, Marc-Andre Fleury and Capo Kakkonen are starting. So we'll start there. And what do you think about the goalies in this one?
I mean, I feel like with how hot those goalies are, they're definitely going to drive down the ownership of this game a lot, and they should. That's very fair logic. But like, this game's probably going to go pretty low for GPPs because you could honestly argue that they're like the 2 hottest goalies in the league right now, Fleury and Kakkonen, with Vasilevsky. But honestly, like, recent performance, like last 10, it's probably Kakkonen and Fleury, honestly.
Well, especially like, I mean, goals against, their Kakkonen's 2.23 on the season, Fleury's 1.56. Like, if you're playing good defense and you're like, their offense and everyone on the ice there trust their goalie to stop the puck, and they're doing it. I mean, I think Fleury's got like 4 shutouts this season, which is, I don't know, it's pretty damn good.
So the logic for those goalies to me would be like Fleury, and it definitely is the cash one. I mean, like, Kakkonen can't work out, but like, you know the risk factor comes with that, especially if Mark Stone comes back tonight. It's definitely a downgrade. So I definitely like Kakkonen again for GPPs if you keep it up, and I like Fleury for both.
Yeah, I'm on the same wavelength. Fleury's your pay up option for cash on FanDuel. Is he the most expensive on DraftKings?
No, Mike Smith is.
No, he's not.
I mean, they probably don't win a lot, which I feel to kind of be fair because, like, I mean, if you made it based on like goalie performance and Mike Smith was 7,300 as a home favorite goalie, I would play Mike Smith a lot more than I'm comfortable to admit that I would be playing him.
Wow,
so like, I like that they make it based on the Vegas lines. That way, I could find value in that. Because if they were all priced on how good of a goalie they are, this would be even more of a shit show than it already is.
Yeah, I mean, he's 500 less than Fleury on FanDuel. I mean, we'll get into that game later, but with this one, yeah, Kakkonen, I like him for tournaments. It's hard to trust him in cash. 1, being a young goalie, and 2, facing this Vegas team who they just totally looked uninterested that last game. And I don't know if it's because goalie injury news too. Stone, like you said, is game time decision. We'll probably find out pregame skate. Luckily, they are first game of the night. Alex Pietrangelo, he's going to miss a few games. He actually flew back to Vegas to get looked at by other team doctors. So he'll be out probably the rest of the week, I'm guessing, and we'll see his status for next week. But yeah, if Stone does come back, though, I think it's going to be a lot harder. He adds a lot of fire to their offense and their team in general. But like you said, like this game is going to be so low owned, where if you wanted throw some guys in, like some stacks in for tournaments, I have no problem doing that. My favorite guy, like if I was to play these one like in cash, if I was to play somebody, it'd still probably be Pacioretty just because of his shots floor. But he's $100 more than Draisaitl, so it's kind of hard to play him over Draisaitl in the matchup.
I definitely for cheap wise in cash, I think Riley Smith's still viable at 3,400. I like Nicholas Hague tonight and White Cloud. Definitely Hague, I think that's how you say it, over White Cloud.
Yeah.
But if it like came down to salary, like I'm okay with White Cloud. I don't mind Theodore if you somehow find money to pay up at defenseman. Definitely value in their decor with no Pietrangelo, especially in Hague and White Cloud, I feel.
Yeah, I mean Hague's getting power play 2 minutes too, and I think Martinez actually got moved up, and he's playing on the power play too. So he's been like really bad lately.
Actually, man, unless they're both on it, let me fact check that real quick because when I looked at it, that's what I saw. Yeah, Hague's on. No, Martinez and Hague are on the power play too, so that's good. That's good for Martinez too and him. I do feel like with this the way that this power play unit is, I think we'll probably see more of the first unit than we normally do. Like I feel like they'd rather have two Carlson, Smith, Theodore, and Patches out there than Stevenson, Glass, Marchessault, Hague, and Martinez. They'll still probably get 30, 35% of it, but I wouldn't expect 50-50.
It's hard though, like how many penalties are they gonna have,
And Suter's a little cheap on DraftKings too. He's on power play 1, so if you took Minnesota and anything, I wouldn't mind throwing him in there. He's probably got decent correlation to everybody. I don't really like Parise at 3,000. I wouldn't get suckered into that. I mean, his minutes are getting low, and I mean he might just not be Zach Parise anymore. Parise, he just might be done. But I think outside of that, that's basically everyone in this game I'm liking, except where'd my sheet go? There it is. Stevenson, Pacioretty, and Tuch, and just GPPs. I feel like if you're gonna take Vegas in the 4 group, I like that line 1 a lot. I think they'll go pretty low compared to Carlson, Smith, and Marchessault. I think they'll be the higher owned one because they're cheaper.
Yeah, I like that. I like the top line. Martinez, he's been one of my core D-men lately, but he just really hasn't been blocking it. He's still blocking shots, but they're a little bit more sporadic. But I do like he's actually one of my cash core guys. If you looked at my cheat sheet, is Jonas Brodin. He's been just blocking everything lately, and he should see a decent amount of pucks toward the net. With Vegas probably trying to shoot a lot more than they did last game. So I like his block shot floor for really cheap on Fanduel. It kind of opens up a lot for you. And other than that.
What's he on Fanduel?
I think he's 41.
Yeah, he's 48 on DK. So, that's a good Fanduel play. I like that for sure.
Yeah, he's 41 on there. If you want to play 2 guys in cash from this game, I'd probably say it'd be Martinez and Brodin at defense because they're both really cheap and both blocking shots. And then obviously the 2 goalies, you're going to want to play them.
I think that about does it for me on this game.
Yeah, that's it. We'll move on to the next one. We'll probably be loving this game. I love this game. Ottawa Senators, Edmonton Oilers. Ottawa implied 2.6, Edmonton 4. Obviously, McDavid's on the slate, so you're just going to throw him in your cash lineup and move on at center, I'm guessing, huh?
Yeah, everyone's learning my strategies nowadays, it seems. But
right.
Yeah, that's absolutely the move. I really wish Leon was a center on DraftKings. He's a winger right now. I hate that they changed it after 1 game, but I guess I should like it maybe in ways. But yeah, I'm definitely playing both of them tonight. I love Tyson Berry. I love Nurse. I think though, I'm kind of just going McDavid and Draisaitl and moving away from it because there are some other cheap guys and decent spots that you can get a piece of as well instead of committing all your time to this.
Yeah, I mean, we'll backtrack a little bit and talk about goalies for a second. Mike Smith, I mean, I guess he could be cash viable with a big Vegas favorite, I don't like playing Mike Smith. I don't think I ever have played Mike Smith because he always screws me over. And
I mean, he's real hot right now. As much as we don't like Mike Smith, and he's played 11 games and has the third most goals saved above expected in the league right now. For reference, like the top four is Vasilevsky, Fleury, and Demko, along with him, and Mike Smith has at least 5 less games than all of them.
yeah, I mean, he has been good. I'm not gonna fault him for that, but I kind of really like Ottawa. I think Ottawa's gonna win this game. Bold call right there. And I mean, if they lose, they lose. But like we've been saying, every time Ottawa's on the slate is like teams go in there expecting to beat Ottawa, and then they just play their asses off and kind of play that grind it out type of hockey game and find a way to score. Like I think they've scored more than 3 goals every time they've played Edmonton this year. So I like getting
a 5-game slate. They're gonna go way too low owned, especially playing against Edmonton. Like if they were playing like I don't know, like Colorado or like a good team, sure. I know that can't happen this season, but like it's Edmonton and it's a 5-game slate, they could absolutely score on the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, and I actually have Matt Murray in one of my GPP lineups because you know what? Maybe he gets a win. He's so cheap. He's 6,600. He's had that kind of back and forth, good game, bad game kind of situation. He was good last time out against Calgary, got a win. So I mean, if the trend continues, he's going to be total dog shit tonight. But I'm willing to take it. Like it's not like I'm putting like my main GPP lineup with Matt Murray, but I threw a couple lineups with him in say like the quarter and the nickel. Just it's kind of like a shot in the dark type thing where hey, he might do good. What's 5 cents? What's 25 cents? What's $1? Might as well. Yeah. No one's gonna play him anyway.
As long as you don't, if you're not stacking Edmonton at all, like 5% to him, and you're like non-Edmonton lineups, like you can do, or even like 3%. But like having a sprinkle of it when most people won't go Edmonton, he might be the lowest owned goalie on the slate. Honestly, I could honestly see that happening as him being the lowest owned goalie on the entire slate. So there is that.
And if you're playing GPPs and you're doing like 100, 150 lineups, I would suggest getting a small sprinkle of every goalie tonight because you never know which one's going to do great. You never know what higher price guy is just going to give up 4 or 5 goals. And on a smaller slate like this, I think all the goalies have at least the chance to have a good game, especially those cheaper guys. Like even if they don't win, like Fleury gave up 1 goal last game and he only had 12 points. Well, if I got 12 points from Matt Murray at 6,700, I'm a lot happier than getting 12 points from Fleury at 85. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so minimal exposure. In regards to Mike Smith tonight, I mean, I played once this year, and it's when he was 65. But he got me the win. He got me the flame emoji, so I can't hate on him. Ottawa's like 2.6 and 5 goals against Edmonton. Like they should. What do you think? Like 2.9, like 3.1 range. Like it shouldn't be 2.6.
Yeah, I think it should be.
It's not like Edmonton's gonna dominate 5v5 on every line. Like the McDavid line might. They're at home, so they won't get called Ottawa's best line. But like the rest of the team, like they could absolutely get a good amount of chances on them.
Yeah, and I mean, so if we're stacking like Edmonton, their whole first 2 lines are in play for me. Obviously, the Draisaitl, McDavid, Yamamoto line is going to be very popular. Nurse and Barry just kind of split. I wouldn't play them together in a lineup, but like if you're playing more than one, just kind of rotate them in and out. And the Ottawa side, I really like their top line, Kachuk, Norris, and Batherson. But their second line's interesting too, and I saw that you really like Dadonov tonight. He's playing on the second line with Colin White and Tim Stetzel. And
they're actually in my core GPP stack, so that's my favorite Ottawa line tonight.
Yeah, I mean they all get power play time. They're all doing okay right now. They're probably stupid cheap on DraftKings. I know they are on Fanduel. And you can really make any stack. If you want to game stack that, I like stacking their power play line. Like Batherson's prices come down. I think he was over 5,000. Now he's back like at 4,700. But if you want to do a power play like Kachuk, Batherson, Stetzel, Dadonov, and Shabbat, or obviously you have to leave one off on FanDuel, but I don't mind that at all in tournaments.
Yeah, I will say from the Edmonton side, like if you're one of those people that really think like, Ottawa's still not good and Edmonton has a high-powered offense, I mean, the ownership that you're probably going to get the second line, which is a combination of, let me see here. I want to say it's like Puljujarvi, Nugent Hopkins, and Ennis. Yeah, it's those three, and you're gonna get them at like
No ownership.
way less ownership than the McDavid line, and like obviously I like the McDavid line more to score, and I like Ottawa as a team, but like if you're like wanting some Edmonton, like that's gonna go real low owned for a team playing against the goalie who's probably gonna be lowest on the slate.
Oh yeah, I agree. We'll move on to the next game, just because we want to give you guys some time to build up your lineups before lock tonight, and that is the Arizona Coyotes at Colorado Avalanche. A couple injury notes on this game. Cale Makar is still out. He got put on IR. Byron Bowen, he's out. JT Comper's out, but our boy Nate McKinnon's back in. And that kind of jumped their implied total, I think, up a little bit from what it was earlier today. So we'll start off with the goalies here. I like Grubauer, but it's hard to trust him in cash with Arizona just not shooting. I mean, it's hard to trust him in general at that price. Tournaments, he's not going to see the shot upside. And then in cash, he'll probably be lower owned on this slate. And if he only sees like 15 shots again and he gives up one or two, he's going to be close to zero. So it's kind of, for me, I'm kind of staying away from both these goalies unless you're building a ton of lineups and just get exposure to all the goalies tonight.
Arizona will have more than 9 shots tonight, I'm pretty sure. But the logic of, like, even if he saves 23, 25 and he lets in 2, it's just like the floor for Grubauer really isn't there while allowing a few goals. At least not on DraftKings. On FanDuel where the win's worth more, sure, maybe. But, like, I mean, I don't mind him. I definitely think Colorado's going to win this game, and maybe he could shut him out because Arizona's offense is absolutely horrendous. But it's just the floor is not really there for me, and I'm not looking to play. Is it Ranta tonight?
Yeah, because they put Kemper on IR.
Yeah, I'm just like this. Colorado is just going to outmatch them so much.
Well, one, they lost last game. They gave up 14 shots and they gave up 3 goals. And they get McKinnon back, so I think they're going to be a little pissed off about that game. Like they shouldn't have lost that game.
I mean, they're definitely underperforming as a team right now. Like they should be one of those teams that's like 18-4-2, not what their record is off the top of your head.
It's 13-8-2.
Yeah, no, they should be. They gotta be mad about that record.
I mean, they're not that much better than the Coyotes record-wise. So
yeah, no,
and they have 2 less losses.
This team has not remotely hit a peak yet. Like I'm excited to see like McKinnon really start having those McKinnon games. I mean, he's had some 20 burgers, but like you haven't seen the 35-40 point blow up Colorado 1 game this year. I feel, and I'm waiting for them to start laying it on again.
I mean, the last time that Landeskog ran and absolutely went nuts was when McKinnon got hurt late in the game, and they just scored at the end of the game there in the third period. So, tournament-wise, Colorado won. I love Colorado won. Who doesn't? But I kind of really like their second line too, Assad, Kadri, and Burakovsky for tournaments.
Yeah, that's what I have in there right now. Like, obviously, you like Colorado 1. Who does not like Colorado 1, guys? Like, so, like I feel like both of us, we don't really need to touch on that too much. But yeah, the line too is like same situation as Edmonton. Like, you think Colorado's gonna lay it on? Like, why not try to see if their second line does some of it in GPPs at way less ownership and way less price tag?
Yeah, that's for sure. Like they'll get some ownership because it's a smaller slate. But I mean, as a line, they have 39 shots in their last 5 games. That's not terrible. And like, who on the Arizona side is going to stop really anybody?
Yeah, I
Like, they're
mean, like they play boring hockey there. I mean, like but as long as Colorado can manage just to break through and get some cycles going, it's gonna be a real problem for Arizona to stop it.
And then you can throw in Taves or Gerard too if you want for cash, or to include them in a stack. The thing with D-men is like it doesn't matter really if they're on D1 or D2 because they play so many more minutes than the forwards. They're gonna see the ice with a mixture of all the lines for the offenses. So I don't mind either one of those guys. Is there anything on Arizona that you're interested in?
Tyler Pitlick's an all right punt on DraftKings if you needed it, and is Chychrun still way too cheap on FanDuel?
Yeah, he's 45 on FanDuel.
Yeah, so that for FanDuel, and it really probably just be Pitlick for me, like just as a punt option. If I had $2,800 and I was like, well, he gets top minutes, play 16, he can maybe score a goal tonight. But outside, and there are punts I like more than that, but he really the only one for me.
Yeah. So we have a question about this game. Weeva says, what about the third line for Colorado? Won't they have a better matchup?
I really hope they played Nichushkin more minutes because he was playing really good, and like I can't see him just going right back to 11 or 12. So on like this 5-game slate, like yeah, you're gonna get that line real low owned. So like I definitely don't mind them. I think Joe Donskoy and Nichushkin's definitely a solid third line as like a unit together, and like each Colorado line is better than every Arizona line.
Yeah, this could be an Arizona 5-6 goal blowout game. I can see that coming. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, they got to be demoralized right now. They know they're not good. Their best goalie just got hurt. I mean, I think Talkett's up there as one of the coaches to get fired. I don't necessarily feel like his fault. They have no talent on that roster. He's doing the best he can, but I think he has pretty high odds of being the next one to go.
He could be, yeah, especially if they don't win games the rest of the season. Anything else on this game, or you want to move on to the next one?
I'm locking in McKinnon. I didn't really touch on that yet, but like, yeah, I'm waiting for it, dude. Like this game, like I don't remember who they were playing, but he literally should have had 5 goals. One of them was like an amazing save. One of them, I can't believe he missed it. I can't remember what the other 2 were, but like I was just like, are you kidding me? So he's due. He is so due for just a monster McKinnon game.
He doesn't have. He only got like 4 goals this year too. So like 4 goals, 17 assists. Those goal numbers are gonna come up. So he's got 5 goals this year.
Yeah, no, that's it. I can't believe he only has 5. It feels like it though.
I know.
I swear, he gets there with the bonuses. Like he'll get you like 6, 7 shots on goal and an assist, and get you like 17, 18 points at times, but. Like he has not had that 30 gamer point gamer yet, but like I know it's coming.
Yeah, and I'm playing him in cash too on FanDuel. Him and McDavid have like the best floor upside combo at center. Like I'm not paying $7,400 or $7,600 for Kopitar in cash. Tournaments, yeah, that's fine, but I'm not paying that in cash. And McKinnon got a little price drop because he was hurt, so and they're both going to be 80% owned in cash tonight, especially on a small slate. Well, we'll get into the next.
I'm hoping McKinnon goes a little lower on DraftKings because people are donkeys.
Yeah. Oh, he had a concussion or whatever. I don't know if it was a concussion.
He's only scored 5 goals this year. He's not worth that much. And it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, look at his floor.
Send me the head-to-heads, buddy.
I mean, he's also a center too, so like, he's supposed to be getting those assists, you know. Well, we'll get into the next game here. Los Angeles Kings at the Anaheim Ducks. The Kings are implied 3, the Ducks 2.6. And this game totally went the opposite way of what we thought on Monday night. I think it was like 5-4 or 6-5 or something like that.
I mean, there were like no shots on goal still. But like the shots that there were going in.
Yeah, and it went to overtime. Sorry guys, my dog is barking at me.
I feel that.
Nuts. But yeah, I mean, I don't think this game's gonna be 6-5 again, but I definitely do like some of the guys who are a little bit hotter on. Hold on, on the Anaheim side, like I like Comtois and I like Raquel. Raquel's price finally has come up on DraftKings or on Fanduel. He's 6,400. So it's a little bit harder to play him there, but you can't argue with his production of late. 10 points, 18 shots the last 5 games. Comtois has been getting assists, and like he's still cheap, and Getzlaf is still cheap too. So I don't mind stacking that top line for them. And then like I don't mind their second line either. Zegras, Henrique, and Silverberg. They've been playing pretty well lately as a second line. What do you think about the Ducks side of this game?
I will say there's still a lot of value to be had on DraftKings with the Ducks. Raquel's still only 4,900. I don't know who keeps listen. I don't know how to complain about this. Not to sound mad that I didn't play him. I think he's been a good play every time he's been under 4,000 this season. Honestly, at this point, probably under 5,000 too. But I don't understand how 20% of the field keeps ending up on him. You guys, only 55% of you play Tarasenko. How am I supposed to believe that you're smart enough to play Raquel? It doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, enough about that. I like Comtois too. Silverberg's cheap at 3,700. Shattenkirk's still on the top power play. He's only 34. Zegras is only 31. He only played 8 minutes last game. I'm not really sure what that was about, but if he plays 14, I don't mind him. And that would really round it up for me. And this John Mahora guy, his minutes aren't great, but he just keeps getting shots and blocks while he's out there.
One thing that I was playing around with the domination station earlier, and he kept coming into the line, and I'm like, no, I'm not playing this guy. But that was Ben Hutton. We had talked about this a little bit before. He's min price on DraftKings. If you want to be able to pay up for other guys, I don't mind throwing him in there either for really cheap. He's been blocking shots lately too.
Yeah, he's probably the best $2,500 defenseman today.
Definitely agree on that. My dog wants to join our live stream. I think he's sitting right here in my lap.
All right, tell him to go over the
go ahead.
Side.
We'll talk about the Kings side here. I don't mind stacking up their power play again. If anything happens like last game, they're probably going to score some points. The Aflalo, Kopitar, Brown, Doughty. What do you think about them?
I'm honestly good on the Kings side, and honestly, for this game, for me, I do feel like there's some value with Anaheim, but I think the goalies in this game are going to go too low owned for being a 5-game slate because of what happened last time, and I'm still holding my opinion. This game's going to be boring and not good. I'm going to ride that for the second slate in a row on it.
I definitely like Comtois is still really cheap, so like you said, some of the Ducks guys for cash for value aren't bad. But the only way I'm playing the Kings is if I'm stacking them in tournaments and if I'm playing 100 lineups.
Yeah, I definitely like the goalies in this game for both sides more than the skaters. Besides the Ducks, Raquel, Comtois, and Silverberg and Hutton they're all decent value plays tonight. And
the goalies, like you said, are going to be way lower owned, and their talent is there. They're not gonna give up. The Ducks had 25 shots on goal and the Kings had 26 last game. They're not gonna allow 11 combined goals on only 49 or 51 shots on goal.
Yeah, no.
But all right, let's get into this last game here. I think we're kind of both on the same wavelength with this one. Montreal Canadiens at Vancouver Canucks. Montreal, they're implied 3.3. Vancouver 2.8. I don't know what the heck Vegas is thinking. Demko's been one of the best goalies in the league over the last couple of weeks, and Montreal still implied 3.3. It's kind of absurd to me.
Yeah, it's goalie wise, it's definitely Demko or no one for me today. But Demko and Fleury, now that we're finally here, I can tell you this, are definitely my 2 favorite cash goalies tonight.
Yeah, but I don't mind price in tournaments, like I said, if you're getting exposure to all the goalies, obviously you want to throw some price in there. It was a 2-1 game last time, so he still scored okay. Those, especially on Fanduel though, the win points are crucial when you're picking a goalie. But we'll start with the Montreal side just because we're probably about on the same page with this. We kind of talked a little bit about it before. They did change up their lines a little bit. So their top line is now Drouin, Suzuki, and Anderson. Their second line is Toffoli, Kanemi, and Gallagher. So what do you think about the little line mix-up there?
I mean, I feel like they're still going to all really get about the same amount of time that they have been, maybe like 1 or 2 more shifts, but I can't see it being anything more than that. My favorite one that like only really changes my opinion is definitely the fact that you could stack Gallagher, Kotkaniemi, and Toffoli together, because Kotkaniemi is kind of cheap and lets that stack come in kind of easy. And the Suzuki, Drew, and Anderson stack's also not that expensive. So, but I really like Demko tonight. But I feel like tonight Montreal, it's a little bit easier to want to stack them. Like the prices aren't all over the place. Everyone's like, none of these lines are really that expensive, and you really only want the top 6 tonight. And you could get Toffoli. Well, the power play correlation's a little rough, but I don't mind the lines.
I like the Anderson call on Fanduel. He's only 4,800 playing on the top line. If I wasn't playing Demko in cash, I'd probably put him in there for value. But right now, like, Demko's in my main cash lineup, so I won't be playing him. I just think Demko is just running a hot streak right now that we kind of can't overlook. And Montreal is going to gain a ton of ownership because of what they did against Vancouver earlier this season. And people are just going to play that recency bias and like not realize that Demko changed from his first 3 games. Like, he was horrible his first 3 games this season. And then he's completely turned it around. And he took over that number 1 spot because Braden Holtby's garbage. And I think, yeah, he can get the win again tonight. I think it's going to be another low-scoring game. And being a hammer game, to have everyone played except your goalie, you could maybe not be cashing. And then if you play Demko in cash, you could shoot right up if he has a good game.
All right. Now, my favorite part of this game, listen, guys. Since Elias Pettersson has been out, JT Miller has averaged over 20 minutes a game, Bo Horvat has averaged over 20 minutes a game, and Tanner Pearson has averaged over 20 minutes a game. I mean, that is elite ice time that you know you're getting. Carey Price has not been that great. Vancouver's honestly looked at least better recently, and at least Montreal's not exactly what I would say a powerhouse by any means. I mean, that's so cheap tonight for all that ice time. I don't mind JT Miller in cash. I don't mind Horvat in cash. I wish Hoglander was getting a minutes boost, but he's not, but I still don't hate him. But my favorite's definitely Tanner Pearson. He's 3,500. He's seen 20 minutes and 22 minutes a game with no Peterson, and he's on the first power play as well.
Yeah, and he's like on the season-wise, he's only got 3 less shots than Horvat for the whole season. It being that cheap, it's hard not to play him in cash. What's Miller's price on DraftKings?
He's only 56, which I feel like with his minutes that he's been getting in shots, like I feel like that's a fair price for him. I don't mind him at that at all.
One guy I really like on DraftKings or on FanDuel is Alex Edler again. He's still cheap. He's still blocking shots. So I really like him on FanDuel. He's got 25 shots and blocks in his last 5 games. He's finally getting some assists. And I know you're gonna like your boy Hamonic again tonight on DraftKings. He's just too cheap, huh?
Yeah, it finally came up to fruition. He had like 2-3 shots on goal and 7 blocks last game.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, 3,100 still too cheap. Montreal's a team that just throws the puck at the net, so he's probably gonna get some more blocks tonight. Yeah, lock and loaded for me, Travis Hamonic.
All right, let's see. So that's kind of it for that game, huh? It's not really that much to.
Yeah, man, I don't mind Quinn Hughes and I don't mind loading up on Vancouver's power play 1 for like GPPs if you're looking for correlation. That'd be like Quinn Hughes, JT Miller, and Brock Besser and Bo Horvat. I don't mind all 4 of them, or a combo of 3 out of 4 of them, or 2 out of 4 of them in GPPs.
I'm really shocked that Nate Schmidt is playing so bad this year. Because like he was a force with Vegas last year, and I'm like, oh great, like they're losing him. But I mean, they signed Pietrangelo, so it's definitely like a win for Vegas. But I thought he would have been playing a lot better with Vancouver, and he hasn't really like done all that much. The only thing he's really done is like now Edler doesn't play on the power play, and between Schmidt and Hughes, kind of took over Edler's power play spot.
I mean, playing for Vegas is a lot easier than playing for Vancouver.
That is true. But other than that, I think that kind of wraps up all 5 games. It's a little after 6, so I want you guys to have some time to build your lineups. Some guy came in late, and he asked, who is your favorite goalie? There's really 2 guys in cash, and that's Marc-Andre Fleury and Thatcher Demko. I'm not really looking anywhere else for cash for tournaments. You can play everyone in tournaments. Be a little different. It's a 5-game slate, so
Yeah, definitely those 2 goalies for sure.
But all right, my dog is being very annoying, so I am gonna have to skedaddle out of here. But we were able to break down all 5 games, and we got about 50 minutes to finish up our lineup. So if you guys aren't DFS Army members, use that code Mdell. Save yourself 10% on a VIP membership. Get in the Slack chat. Ask us a bunch of questions. We're always in the NHL chat. Just tag us with any questions that you might have, and we can answer them for you before the slate locks tonight. If you don't have anything else, though, we think we're going to head out of here, huh?
All right. That's it too, boys.
All right. Just hit us up in Slack if you guys got any more questions. Just make sure you tag us so we can get those notifications and be able to answer those questions before the slate locks. Look, fellas.